Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde is probably the best known of Robert Louis Stevenson's novels. And it's designed around a man who has a secret identity inside him. There's a wickedness underneath, the good character of Dr. Jekyll, and that's Mr. Hyde. What he was thinking of was a famous criminal whose stories he grew up with in Edinburgh, a man named Deacon Brodie, who made furniture for a living. And in Robert Louis Stevenson's bedroom as a boy was a set of drawers that was made by this man who was hanged because of his secret life. He liked dabbling in every sort of dark art, which meant gambling, dice, cards, cockfighting, anything that was a bit risky and rough. That was William Brodie's second trade, carpenter by day, rabble-rouser by night. It is an international story for many reasons, one of which is the need to protect capital is becoming very important. And in cities, people want police. They're very worried about burglars and theft. And here you've got one of their own, a rich man with wealth and possessions who steals from other rich people just for fun. It was a horror story in itself. For that emerging proto-Victorian middle class, this was more frightening than Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde, having someone who by day was one of you and by night was the very criminal that you feared. So we get to the trial. And for Brodie, it's his opportunity to become McKeith, to be on stage. There are reporters from all over Britain carrying it. People come up from London to write for the press there. It's one of the first times that's done. And over 30,000 people will turn out for his execution. It is the first real apex of the print media revolution. All through the 18th century, newspapers are growing, magazines are growing, the novel is emerging as a genre, and you're distributing literally millions of books, magazines, newspapers all over the world. So that media has spread that much. Here's a great story for it, and it just takes wings in print and especially in ephemeral print. So that this criminal, who otherwise, like many local criminals, would not have been anything more than an Edinburgh story, becomes a worldwide story. And that's why to this day, we still recall it. So the whole thing is played out in two ways. One as a romantic drama. Here I am, William Brodie, great criminal. And here I am, William Brodie, and here's my finger up to you. Because I know who you are. You didn't know who I was. You didn't know I was a criminal. But I knew you were a bunch of hypocrites. You're thieves in your own right. And that's the delight of the trial, is that you've got someone that clever and that self-destructive that he's willing to die for satire, which is the angle increasingly I'm beginning to take on this. It's as much a satirical life lived as it is a romantic dream lost. That's Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde. It's actually William Brodie.